And we're live, gamers. Welcome to Gamer Town, gamers. I'm just gonna text AJ a single word, that word, gaming.
It's just a slow.
Yeah, calling someone a gamer is famously a grave insult. Oh, that's what happened. What would I prefer over internal respiration?
What?
Infernal respiration.
Oh god, demons.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the ramifications of it all.
That's what I'm thinking about too. I'm often pondering this. Up pondering. I for sure am.
For sure. More like brocial.
Brazil.
Bronchus.
Broncos. What did the cat just did?
Shitted. What's the cat
He
do?
went meow.
Is that allowed?
I don't think so. And if it is, it definitely should not.
A baby zombie was just on top of a chicken.
I don't think that's allowed.
No.
Baby Zamboni.
Yeah. Big Zam! Man, I wish I could fly. Also, I wish it wouldn't fucking rain so much. It's so hard to see when it's raining in Minecraft.
Yeah.
How do you see when it's raining in Minecraft?
I don't.
Bro. Just close your eyes.
Both actually.
Your angel ass.
I look into his angel eyes.
One look in your head that dies.
He'll take your heart and then you'll pay the price.
Damn, that's fucked up. I don't want to fucking deal with this.
What is it?
Just can't see. I fucking can't place blocks.
Maybe you can see better if you turn the shader off.
No. There we go. That's better. I didn't touch the shader.
I feel like I'll
All saying
never
it's
put
better
a shader on.
because I moved one block to the left.
Slide to the right.
Yeah.
Cha-cha real smooth.
Oh, fucking Elytra.
Elytra, mate.
How could you say that to me? One of my whole family.
You're old.
Yeah, that should work. Hypothetically.
It's a hypothetically weakest.
What wouldn't be hypothetical?
It's a hypothetically weakest right now.
Okay. Yes.
It's very instant.
Instantaneously. I saw a adult store called Sensations.
Pretty
Not as
good.
good as the one. Not as good as the one at near my place, like in town. That's called Cinderella's, but it's spelled with an S.
And so naughty daddy.
Ooh.
They're always calling me Naughty Jimmy.
Am I?
Yeah.
I think it's too scary.
And yet.
We should go with something more friendly. Oh no. Hmm. Like an aging man, I'm out of wood.
Damn. Me when I want to make a bonfire, but I haven't harvested anything recently.
Oh. Yeah. I don't think AJ's real.
I agree. I think he was invented by the government.
He's probably doing something like taxes.
He would, yeah.
Have you got your taxes sorted?
Not yet. It's not a big deal because you have 3 years to amend your returns.
Oh, that's amazing. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, if you have a really bad tax system, you can't expect everybody to get it right on the first try.
It's so stupid.
Let's say, hypothetically, you have a really bad tax system.
So hypothetically, you have an automatic tax system that pretty much does all the work for you. And all income tax you pay as you earn it. And every time you buy something, it has the global service tax included.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be so crazy. Haha, girl's hair.
twirls him. Haha, overthrows government. Oh god. Help me. Oh god.
How do you craft a banner?
Like Bruce?
Yeah.
I think it's like 6 wool and then a stick down the bottom. Like a wool sign, essentially.
Nice.
Yes, you has to farm more mangrove wood.
Me.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Put them to work. You're always putting me to work. Always making me to work.
But Jesus. I'm squirting for lard. For the lard.
Lord. Squirting for the Lord.
Lord. Let us cheat in this wood, I swear to God.
Hmm.
Where is the... Oh, I do have more Man's Grove. But I should probably not enter our supply of Man's Grove, should I? Instead of Vietnam flashback, I think there's more Man's Grove wood in the other one.
I've fought mud crabs more fearsome than you.
Have you now? Thank you, Liam. Yup, XP. Elap XP. Couldn't tell what that said super well, but I saw 2 L's next to each other and I was like, Spanish?
It's not here. Damn. Damn, Daniel.
I mean, AJ's not here for certain. I don't
Passed
think
away.
AJ's real.
Oh,
I think AJ was invented by the government.
Crabfest.
Always calling me the Crab Fest.
There's a crab festival that happens every year in WA. Well, I think it's just Mandurah. But
Ooh.
it's usually called, people either call it Stab Fest or they call it Crap Fest.
Why do they call it that?
Because it's not very good.
Mm,
And Stab Fest because Mandurah's just dodgy like that.
damn.
Bamboozle. Okay, we have 11 mangrove planks. I
Do
mean,
we
10.
now?
I can't count. Why is that mangrooven? Is what I want to know.
Why does that bilirubin?
Bilirubin? Is that why my skin is yellow?
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, they call me Jaundice.
John Dees. Whoa. Look into his angel eyes, who seems in paradise.
Look into his aimness.
I'm always doing this. I'm always looking into his hands.
Which way is the mangrove forest again from the highway?
It's west.
Westerly. That's east. Okay, west we go.
You're like, I disagree.
No, it's facing east.
I think it's kind of funny that even though I have a hard time remembering a lot of things, I can remember that kind of thing. Like, I have a pretty good sense of geography.
Sweet home Alabama.
Sweet home Butler.
A sweet home Adam Sandler.
Sweet home Adam Sandler. Now, 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 where the skies are so blue. Now, now, now. Sweet home Alabama. Lord, I'm coming home to you. And that's just the truth.
I'm coming gnome.
Lord, I'm a gnome. It's really funny when you're reading a book and like the book takes place over a long period of time, you get to watch a character go senile.
Yeah. Who's going senile?
I was just thinking of the 16 book series by Robin Hobb. There's this one guy who lives through all of those damn books. I think he dies in the last one. But he just keeps getting older and older, but in the first book he was already old, so he has to be like 90 by the last book. He's still alive. And it's like
Speaking
I
of Slub
don't
and Knob,
think he can die.
speaking of Slub and Knob, that's what Jesse was reading before I finished the course.
Uh
Assassin's Apprentice.
oh nice. I hope he enjoys it.
Don't know.
He could be doing anything right now.
Yeah.
He could be killing many children. In fact, he probably is. I have to go to the
Kill me.
bathroom, so I'm gonna be back in
Okay.
just a sec.
Good luck.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Ah. I hate mangrove trees. They're not real. Take 10 years to cut down. I only have like 6 wood in them. Someone remind me to never make fucking anything out of mangrove ever again. Should use some other kind of red block. That would have been better. Ugh. Ugh. Did I fucking pillage it? No, it's a traveling motherfucker. Suppose you could use the wouldn't make sense, would it? Oh god. What did I do to deserve this? Where? Milk. Milk. Oh my lord. Milk pomegranates? I'm just confused on how you do that. How many pomegranates do you think you've eaten in your life? Hmm. That was like an interesting number. I'm trying to think how many pomegranates I've had in my life. My life oil. Who would? Why is there a song singing the praises of Alabama? Yeah, but it's. I mean, like, think about someone making a song about Montana. You know what I mean? Or like Ohio. Or Ohio. Or the other place. Wyoming. Wisconsin. Why do so many American states just sound like they suck ass? It just sounds like a shit place to live sometimes. Like, why would you want to live in, I don't know, fucking... What's happening in Mississippi? Oh, Delaware can burn. We hate Delaware. Do you know why we hate Delaware? Delaware has different business taxes than every other state in America, so businesses will base themselves in Delaware instead of, like, anywhere else. And just not pay any taxes. You don't pay any taxes? It's like the IRS is gonna fucking... It's really funny reading the Rapture book, because there's a bit where it's just like, fuck the IRS. Because Andrew Ryan's building Rapture. Oh, it's like, oh, those pansy at the IRS won't get shit on me. I think it was a Dandies, actually, I'm not sure. Or was Gumshoes. Oh, Gumshoe. You know what a gumshoe is? Yeah, it's a dick. They also call detectives dicks for some reason. Speaking means you can be a private dick. It's wild that private detectives actually still exist. Yeah, but that doesn't seem legal, you know? Like, I know it's perfectly legal to, like, follow somebody around, but, like, it shouldn't be. I think it's, like, some kind of stalking charge. Hmm. Oh, he's making a basement. I know, you're working on the, bottom of the Skyland. It doesn't need a basement, you can just build up. You ever play on a not public Minecraft server, but Minecraft server with a few people in it, and there's that one guy that just builds like perfect square buildings with like they're huge, and you're like, what the fuck could you possibly fit in that? Like, what are you doing in there? It'll just be a cobblestone chunk with like no decoration. Some brutalist psycho lives here. Yeah, I played a few Minecraft servers with some people in them, and they just like I think they're building farms or something, but they just like make really ugly buildings for them. I don't get when someone will make like copy someone's video or something, or like they make a video relating to another video, but they won't tell you. Like I recently saw a video where this is kind of related, but it was a Minecraft YouTuber or something that was taking credit for redstone stuff that he didn't build, and it just reminded me of another one where it's like the plagiarism video by a H-bomber guy, but not really. But it was a different thing where um people will make a video and then they will be like, "Oh, I watched this video recently and I got the idea to make this thing," and they'll like do that, you know? And it's like that seems like a much cooler thing. Because if someone's a fan of the original thing, they can be like, "Oh my god, look, someone's done more of this thing." Suppose it's like shitting with your pants still on, I guess. Well, like, no one knows that you've done it until someone if they find out, you know? Now I'm going, goodbye. Oh no. Do you think Egypt's real? Yeah. Mm. You know, Egyptologist? What about a herpetologist? You know what herpetology is? Lizard. That's lizards and what's that thing called? I mean reptiles and amphibiones. Why are lizards like that, you know? Like we all evolved from lizard, but lizard stayed behind and was just like, I wanna lick my own eyeballs now. I'll just lick someone else's eyeballs instead. Herpetological. Damn. What kind of herpetological problems are you having? It would be funny if I was just expecting you to be like, lizard. Hmm. No, I was just gonna say something horrible. I I have been eating it by the handful, just a heads up. Why is it called peptic ulcer? What is a pep? A pop in my ass. No, a pep in my step and a pop in my ass. Have you seen that video? It's one of the Wizard with Guns video, and it's about pop rocks. It's really good. The guy gets knocked over and he's knocked pop rocks everywhere, and he's picking him up, and the other guy like bends over to help him pick him up, and then his ass is near his ear, and he can hear the sound of like the pop rocks. And he's like, "There's a pop rocks in your ass." It's like, how dare you accuse me of that? And he like keeps going, like for a long time. It just annoys him after a while, and then he's like looking for his bike so he can like ride away, and then he turns around. The guy's accidentally like parked on his bike, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he turns around, and the guy that's got the pop rocks has got a gun. He's like, "You're gonna fucking shoot me?" It is because I'm a fish. Oh, what are they apologizing for? Oh, yes, immediately. Prepare the alpaca. I hope so. Yeah. I'm putting pinstripes on my boner. Oh. Meteor. Hmm. I think I would prefer if they just wrote it as whatever. I don't know, it's just a bit strange being like, this is a message from Hitler that we, like, spent time and money researching. It's like, oh. Like, do they No, but do they really need that is what I'm saying. Hello? Yeah. Officially. I agree. Phallic? That's what I wanted to hear. I mean, that's what I heard. Oh, fucking the zombie hugs me while it's on fire. It's so rude. Yeah. What if they're eating my face? I never expected the leopards to eat my face. I can believe it. I've seen it in a dream. Yeah. I might. Interior crocodile alligator. Oh, am I? Damn. Wow, honey. Crazy. Oh my. Time for dog volume. Why are you happy about this? Why are you lying? You're always like, I'm gay. That'd be scary. You're always telling me that I'm barren. Fertility. You're like, you're barren, and you point at my womb. Maybe. I bite my lip. Ugh. Punch me in the urethra. Oh god, my urethra. Oh god, do it again. Why would you kill me? Oh, I'm scared. By punching my urethra. Maybe. I don't remember doing that though. Oh. Maybe your memory. That's why you say your memory's so bad, it's just full of horny thoughts. That's true. Oh, I don't remember what we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I think it needs sunlight too, doesn't it? Well, maybe if you spent less time punching urethras and more time learning, you'd know that Minecraft is real. Insatiable indeed. Girth, yeah, urethras are needed. Spongy. Mm. It's so fucking dark. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you're going to bed over there. It's gonna be a long way for me to come from the mushroom. The mushroom? The potato farm. From the mushroom I come, from the mushroom I go. Yeah. Have you heard about the Boner Dreamer? There was a Kickstarter for a thing a while ago where it was the idea is that you like wore this device around your wiener. When you get a boner in the middle of the night, it tells you that you're dreaming, so you can have a lucid dream through the power of boners. I want to know who, like, I guess I reckon it was some kind of like doctor that was like, "Ah, I know what to do," and was like doing some tests, like had an idea. Oh, such a very strange item, I guess. I just want to know. I want to know who was thinking of correlating boners and lucid dreaming, though. Oh, clearly. I was like, fuck them bitches. No lucid dreaming for you. Oh, the penis alarm go off.
Oh, that's funny because I actually didn't have my mic on that whole time, so it didn't matter. That's kind of funny. But I'm gonna turn my mic off so that nobody
Oh,
can hear the fire alarms going off.
it's gonna sound like a psycho this whole time.
Okay, I'm back. And yeah, before I didn't have my mic on, so that's fine.
No.
I want to use calcite for the bottom of the walls.
I'm always using calcite on the walls.
Whenever I use calcite for the bottom of the walls, you're always like, you're so stupid. You yell at me.
Never said that in my life.
Other than all the times you were like, you're so stupid. Whenever I got out my calcite.
And then I died immediately.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So sad he had to go like that.
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, they're going off again. Oh no. I don't know if the mic can actually hear them. I suspect it can. I'm gonna turn my mic.
I can. Is he actually downstairs, like looking after it though? Okay. Perhaps.
I definitely smell that they were cooking bacon or something down there.
Got that night bacon.
Yeah. That might be bacon. I was calling me Sir Bacon.
Am I?
Yeah. You're like, wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Why are they doing that?
Oh. Causes are uncertain as of yet.
I'm always being assailed by the epidemiologist.
This is always happening. And they're like, you're full of diseases. And you're like, no, no, God, please. Which was also my reaction when I see an epidemiologist.
Damn.
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Saying this. So here's my concept
Yeah.
art. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm building this thing.
Big old fang.
Yeah. That's the whole concept, I'm afraid.
Mm. Do your thing, 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 your thing.
Thank you.
But hit song Gorilla.
And by hit song Gorilla.
Yeah.
No. Good Fangle.
Hmm.
They're always calling me Fangle.
Fangosteen.
Yeah. They're always calling me Dongle.
Wolverine dongle.
I find it so funny that that our playthrough is the first one you'd had where you talk to Bulber and Bongo. What do you usually do with him? Just like ignore him or kill him?
Let him rot in a cell, just like let him out, and then never talk to him again.
Nice. I think he deserves it too.
Yeah.
What normally happens to
Kinda.
Barkus?
Sometimes he gets thrown through the windmill by accident.
Uh,
Depends on who I'm playing with.
Hmm.
They let him free, sometimes he gets killed in the going forward. Going forward.
Green Solinki.
Yeah.
Oh god. The guy's like just scared Gabe.
Yeah, I heard that scream from here.
And they're using a blender down there right now. They're out of control.
Man, they're going crazy with the appliances, hey?
Yeah. Cooking the house, using the blender. What isn't there to love?
Blundering the blender.
You're always calling me a blender.
No.
Whenever I say I'm not a blender, you're like, no, you are a blender.
There is punching me in the cactus.
Punching you in the cactus.
Yeah.
Have a cactus?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
crazy. You would not lie to me about having a cactus, certainly.
Certainly not.
Certainly not. Unless you were too fucked up and evil, even for words.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, look who it is!
Bum
Jeff.
Pongo?
What?
Oh, it's AJ. Dog
Tom Hom- Hom-
boys. Some dog
Bog-
boys in the chat.
Bogdoys.
Bogdoys. I get some Bogdoys in the chat.
Cowdoy.
They're going crazy with the appliances today. What is he grinding?
It's on Grinder.
Please on Grinder in my Christian household. AJ, what I think is the best thing about you is that you're free. You're free to eat Cheerio. You're free to be in the chat. You're free to not be in the chat. You can do anything. That's the thing about you, AJ.
Should pee in the chat.
Free to piss in the chat. That's the thing they don't want you to know about AJ is that it's free. And by they, I
I thought
mean,
it would cost like a few dollars.
well, that's what you would be surprised by. Is that it's actually not a few dollars.
Are you near an epidemiologist?
Pretty sure AJ's near an epidemiologist. He seems like the kind of guy. Be near an epidemiologist at all times.
Is it tax deductible?
Perhaps. Oh god, not a friendship invoice. This is how you stay afloat. You make friends with somebody, and then you are just like, haha, I'm so great. And then you hit him with the friendship invoice.
I thought it'd be pontoons.
S-Corps. What's S-Corps? I'll just call them Scorps.
6 corporations.
Sex corporations, yeah. AJ, why are you involved with so many sex corporations?
Money flows through them to the situation and the corporate tax rate is lower.
That's very
Those
weird.
are all, those are all scary.
Yeah. The things you can rely on AJ to know about. Avoiding taxes. Avoiding different taxes. Avoiding other kinds of taxes.
Probably learned from a paternal figure.
AJ is known for his paternal figure, which is Mr. Tax Evasion himself. Something I think is kind of funny about AJ's parents is that they have like the opposite approaches to getting into heaven.
Oh, what?
Because what AJ told me is that AJ's dad will be like, "Oh, I got you, like, I just like got you a thing. I'm getting into heaven."
Oh,
Whereas AJ's mom is like constantly worried about going to heaven. She goes to confession for not going to church, and then the guy tells her, "You don't need to do that." Okay, interesting. The last line is, wait, so that means Tala is da da da. What could she be? A Lurbsian? Your dad's got that low stress approach to getting into heaven. I respect that. Your dad just like trusts in God to just let him in. I think that's funny. I like that in this approach where you focus on Tala being a lesbian, it makes Liliana being attracted to Tala like inconsequential. Like, of course she is, surely. I've paid my dues. I have the time. But it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. AJ, have you ever met the guy who your mom told you was your biological dad? Because you do know his name. And some of his relatives. Downstairs, my roommates are talking about how the weather is crazy. AJ, do you agree the weather is crazy? long sex. Yeah. It is true that when you're a guy and you're having sex, you kind of just like go at it, and then you're like, oh, then your brain falls out.
Brain? I don't remember having a brain.
I don't. And as a guy, I will say I do think having sex for a long time can be fun, but it being longer does not make it more fun. That is my opinion. And in fact, I do tend to get like very sleepy and just be like, oh, bedtime. So was friends with the other guy who knew the other guy. That's how I can tell you're Catholic, AJ. You gotta have those complicated Catholic by blood, I suppose. You gotta have those complicated family relationships if you want to count as Catholic. Oh yes, I'm Catholic, but only on my mother's side. I'm actually not Catholic on any side. Fucking Protestant. But personally, I am not Protestant for obvious reasons. Those reasons, namely, being that I don't think God is real. And if he is real, he's more scared of me than I am. Practicing gamer. AJ, it's brave of you to say that, and you know what? I'm proud. And I think more people should say it. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. 'Cause we are the champions. We are the champions. This is kind of a decent little spot I got here. Be better. Biologically Jewish. I mean, you're just a fourth Jewish, right? I mean, you could be more than a fourth. To my knowledge, you're a fourth. Nobody wants to admit their Jew-Italian heritage.
Jew-Italian.
Yeah. Well, being Jewish is passed through the maternal line, so would you be? Because your mom's mom, yeah, I suppose you would be then. It'd have to be your mom's mom's mom. Kind of curious how they enforce this.
Wizard stuff. The days in Minecraft take 2 seconds long. Oh.
We're back. We're gaming. We on that Nintendo Game and Watch.
Grew up watching their game.
This is what I'm asking. I'm always asking this. We'll be over there. You could be more. There can always be more. Something interesting I saw on the internet a while ago was somebody saying that using the term Jewish is offensive because it's not a, because it's a term assigned to Jewish people, and I find that
I
interesting.
thought Jew was the offensive thing to say.
Sorry?
I thought people didn't like being called a Jew.
Maybe. But it's interesting to me because I've heard, like, Jewish people call themselves that more than I've heard anybody else call them that.
It's the Jewish N-word.
They say about everything I say. That is true. It's not like the Vatican or whatever, you can just have a Vatican Council and decide that, or the thing the Mormons did where they decided they didn't want to be called Mormons because people yelled at them for being Mormons one time.
Is that what the Mormons did?
Yeah. That's why they started calling themselves the Church of
Latter-day
Jesus Christ
Saints.
of Latter-day Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Mormons.
Which is funny to me because they only had the one. The one Latter-day Saint, I mean. Unless, do they count the guy after Joseph Smith as a Latter-day Saint? Because the
I don't know,
angel is
I
not a
don't-
saint. But Moroni is not a saint. He's an angel. Does he count as a saint? I feel like he shouldn't count as a saint.
I don't know. Go ask a Mormon. Do you even know any Mormons?
Yeah, bunny.
But are they real?
Wait, do you
Oh,
mean
dude,
in
best
real
viewer.
life?
That's a Mormon right there.
Oh, great. Best viewers on Mormon.com. No way.
To Mormon.com. Moaning Mormons.
Oh, okay. Because I've only ever heard... I have to imagine Joseph Smith is a saint? Or is it that thing where they just, like, decide someone is Mormon after they die? Is that what you're referring to?
That's kind of evil.
It's pretty evil, yeah.
I think the idea being is that they baptize people after they die so that
Yeah.
they have the choice or something in their heaven, but that's still kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't want to be baptized by anyone's faith. The only thing I want to be baptized by is fire.
As in the name of the book, the Witcher book, Baptism of Fire.
Is that a picture book?
Yeah, I read it.
Is that why he's naked in that one?
Yeah. Presumably. Can't speak for him, though. Where did I put that?
Now that detective is the right question.
Okay, so we're talking about just their group of people, right? Are those the people who are baptized post-death, or do they just kind of decide the label of saint based on somebody's actions?
Labia.
Labia. Like, how frequently do they add new saints? Do they still do it? I have to imagine they still do it. Gotta stay current.
Be right back. Be right back.
Okay, gotcha. How do you count as doing miracles? Do you just like have to get word to the Mormon Pope? I know he's not actually called the Pope. That you like did something, and then they decide if it was a miracle or not? Is that how you do that? I'm gonna become a Mormon saint, obviously. I need to know. How do you go about this? Is what I'm asking. I appreciate, AJ, that you know more about this than me, even though I've known an absurd number of Mormons. I've never even had people explain to me why they're called the Latter-day Saints. I thought Joseph Smith was just a saint. But yeah, I understand. Prophet makes more sense. I do like that each word has its own, like, internal meaning, though. It's kind of funny to me. Okay. Okay. So do they have a pantheon of, like, people who are inhabited by devils where they do the same thing, but if it turns out it made someone's life worse, you get to count as a devil? Because I want to go in that camp. I feel like they gotta have one of those, you know what I'm saying?
Can I be evil? What's happening?
I was saying, like, AJ was saying that's how you become a,
Come.
that's how you become a saint. And I was like, well, if you change someone, if they do the same thing, but you change someone's life for the worst, do you get to become a devil? Because I want that. I want that to be me. Oh my God.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is just Catholicism 2.0. Like, what if you
Well,
make
it's-
Catholicism American?
I made it more cult-like. Where it's more like an MLM where you have to bring more people into the thing so that you can get more heaven points.
MLM's from Utah? Oh my God, really?
That's crazy.
I
Who's
can
all that guy?
scarcely believe it. There's this one time I was watching a Dan Danderson podcast episode where they were saying, like, something is as common as MLMs in Utah, and I was like, I wonder why.
There was a... Oh, that's fucking lame.
But okay, can I get to count officially as being possessed by a demon? Is there a way to get that sort of label?
Semen demon?
Yeah.
I did see someone that was talking about how there used to be a Mormon, and it's like, in Mormonism, you feel a burning in your chest, and that's how you know God is real. And it's like, through the power of indigestion, I knew that I was doing the right thing. Your titties start burning, God's coming for you.
All cults are started by people with indigestion.
Exactly. Isn't it just interesting that like a lot of cult leaders actually have like a lot of health conditions sometimes? And it's just like, man.
I feel like desperation about that kind of thing can make you come up with crazy shit.
Well, just learning about the Ocean Rikio guy was wild. Like, I remember that a while ago, but I rewatched something about it recently because it came up in a different video. And he was like a Japanese guy that was like partially, or mostly, is blind, except for like he could see a little bit in one eye, and he was sent to like a blind kid school, like being the only guy that could partially see.
Yeah.
And he'd like bully them and shit, and like he would like get off the power that he'd like he'd manipulate all these people because he's the only one that could fucking see. Just to look, like obviously he couldn't see very well, but better than anyone else can.
What a guy.
And then he like made a cult later in life, and he's his own like little Jesus anime. I
That's
feel like AJ knows about the
AJ probably
social
does know
media
about that.
guy.
Just
Thurger
one more
Asahara?
health condition. I feel like you already have enough, AJ. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, but you're also gonna be like charismatic.
Okay, yeah, AJ, if you can like make yourself just irresistible to women, like every woman, I think you can do it.
It doesn't have to be women.
Well, irresistible to men and women. You can make yourself generally irresistible. But not non-binary.
So she-
Non-binary
it's
people
really-
can withstand it.
It's really easy to start a cult.
You're like, I would know.
Yeah, I've done it like 3 times already.
Yeah. I'm eeping.
Mum wants a good cult to follow, but none of them are any good.
What a shame. Daytime. You just gotta find a way to harness the autism.
Yeah. And wield it like a weapon, like a holy flaming sword or whatever.
Exactly.
Is Gabriel on with a flaming sword? Well, he's downstairs burning shit.
Yeah, that is true. I think Gabriel is the one with the burning sword. Which one is the Zerofail based on?
I think that's evil.
Is the Zerofail the name of an actual angel? Fill me in, AJ. Is Zerofail the name of an actual angel? Jophiel, okay. Or Jophiel.
Apparently it's, what's it called? That one's Jewish as well.
Zerofail?
No, the flaming sword one.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it's Old Testament, generally shared.
Hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
No, the name is different.
Why did they change the name, do you suppose?
Uriel.
Uriel is a real one.
Yes, Uriel's the angel that I was thinking of because they have cool names. Jophiel sounds a bit strange.
Yeah, or Jophiel, I don't know if it's... Kind of like all those old names. I wonder what they sounded like in the original Hebrew. If it was originally in Hebrew, I'm not sure.
Hey, it's my cousin Joe.
Okay, gotcha. And Jophiel is too specific, because they do have Michael in there. But I think Michael gets to be in there, because Michael is also just a name you call your children.
And Michael's that one guy from the vampire movie.
Oh,
I wonder if Michael was the vampire or if he's the werewolf though.
something fun about you, AJ, is that if I have questions, like 90% of the time you seem to know the answers.
AJ, what is a Jew?
AJ, what is the meaning of it all?
Where is my hand?
AJ, what do I have in my pockets?
A ring.
Incorrect. I actually have my dick in my hand.
Dick in my hand.
What has it got in its
It's my
pockets?
dick. It's my dick in a box, babe.
I was talking about your dick in a box. You were talking about our dick in a box.
Well, it's because you took it from me.
The divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Can't believe I would do something like that.
I can, because you're always doing it.
Well, AJ, if you just like have an encyclopedic knowledge on random shit, that's kind of the position you put yourself in, you know?
What do you know about Satanism, AJ?
I'm willing to bet AJ knows a lot about Satanism.
It's not actually a real religion, though, so.
Well, it's not a religion, it's more of a philosophy, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much. Hello, Sophie. Who is Sophie?
That's what I'm always asking. AJ, if you don't want to become the guy to answer questions, every time I ask a question, you just have to be like, huh? I've never heard of that before.
You say fuck off.
Back off, mate. No crying. No. I'm gonna make.
Send Davistan.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I feel like if you're worshiping the devil specifically to be edgy, then you don't actually believe he's real. I don't think you can worship something you don't think it's real, definitionally. So you might disagree, as I've never worshipped anything except for that Ka.
What if it wasn't real?
I would be shocked. A little bit scared. I'm like directly above the house I made for the vineyard.
With like the little worker house inside.
Yeah. I think I'm making this too far out. AJ, I have a question. If you're ever in a Twitch stream, if I ever am streaming at the same time as someone else, do you choose one over the other, or do you watch both? Christianity is based on faith. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That's essentially like one of the problems I think Christians had when encountering other religions, because they just were confused by the fact that people didn't care that much, I think. Like, that was relevant to a book series I read called The Poppy War, where this character has to start believing in the gods, which she doesn't actually believe in, because, like, nobody in China actually thinks the gods are, like, real. They just worship them for reasons. Okay, gotcha. So you don't have much to worry about in that department. I'm imagining you just having one eye pointed in each direction to watch two streams at once. That's what I do.
I always have to watch 2 streams at once because my dick hole's split in half.
Sad but true. That's what they don't want you to know, AJ. Oh my god, that's a whole different kind of stream sniping. Good lord.
Max, have you seen the Wizards with Guns video where he's like, "Why have you stopped subscribing to my OnlyFans?"
I have not seen that.
Oh, that's great. He goes into his house and he's like interrogating him. It's like, "I've recently quit my job," and he like picks up his dog and it's like, "Wow, you can afford to feed a dog, but you can't give me $5 a month." And he goes on. He's like, "All right, I'm leaving, but I'm taking the dog."
Yeah. What was up with that guy? Like, what was his deal? Why was he straight? Was it trauma? Was it caused when he was a kid?
Must have been.
Must have been the wind.
Hmm. He's probably touched appropriately by an uncle or something, and that's why he's like that.
By an aunt, presumably.
Yeah, sorry. Touched appropriately by an aunt. Like, spit.
It would be funny if, like, you had some sort of idea about, like, how trauma turns you gay, but it was based on, like, people being nice to you. If a guy is too nice to you, you turn gay.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm gay. You're too nice to me, Axel, and I suddenly became even gayer.
Yeah. And you're like,
Those times that you hit me, that's a bit scary. I think I should get some kind of like healthcare cover for this. I think I can feel an aneurysm forming from playing this game.
From Minecraft. He hates playing Minecraft with me.
No, I'm building something.
What are you building?
Oh, something cool. It's what I would say, but it's not cool. It's just more roof stuff.
Hashtag just roof things. Oh, that's great. I love that. I have to assume that's why.
That's why Elena is so like a straight Christian girl
Yeah.
that
I
reads her
think it's
Bible.
partially just that read her Bible. I think it's partially just that she doesn't like my mom. She doesn't want to be like my mom. My mom is, you know, my mom is independent. She's, you know, stubborn. She's all these things. And Elena's like, I can't believe you would do that.
I think being gay definitely like is a genetic trait that comes from the mother.
Yeah.
This wouldn't make much sense. Came from the father. Unless
You
they
are
figured
always
out how to do it like seahorses. Yeah, but that's like in the Christian sense.
Because I am ordained by the church.
Yeah.
And you say, forgive me, Daddy.
By the church.
Yeah. I'm afraid that your Shadow Citadel is going to be much more in shadow by the time I'm done building this island.
Dude. The more evil it looks, the better. I said, good.
Being gay has passed through the maternal line.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of, well... I was just gonna say it's the opposite of things you get from your Y chromosome, but I realized. I guess, no, things you get from your Y chromosome must be from your father. Because you
The
don't get a
Y
Y
stands
chromosome.
for urethra.
Yeah, the Y stands for urethra. Because the Y is not something you get from. But anything in an X chromosome can be from either
You
parent.
probably could.
I mean, they can't stop me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
if Elena has ever read the Bible. I suspect not.
Start quoting at her until so you can understand what's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna get AJ to show up to her house and quote Bible verses until she can return them.
Might summon something. Careful with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna get AJ to show up to her house and speak Latin until a demon shows up.
I kind of like being able to quote the Bible seems kind of fire because like you could just be like on the bus and someone annoys you and you just fucking start quoting them, you know?
Yeah, well that's what the one guy in what's that, Pulp Fiction does, where he knows like one Bible verse and he quotes it just because it sounds baller.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the part where he's like thinking to himself and he's like, I think it might actually mean something as well. Am I the
Quoting like
lost
the bullets
shepherd?
costume.
Yeah, where he's like in the restaurant trying to talk the lady and guy down from doing sicko mode. AJ, I have a challenge for you. I understand this may be excessively challenging, and if so, I apologize. But I would be interested to see if you could come up with a list of 10 major things to do not with the pros that you liked about Bloodbound. Because we've talked a lot about the parts you did not like, which is important for improvement, obviously, but I would also be curious to hear the parts you did like.
Or make you feel joy.
The part where Dusk says, I want to make you feel joy is Bard's favorite part. Like, I can take a lot of criticism, obviously. I'm just curious.
Or yeah, take the criticism.
Yeah, I can take my criticism.
My criticism.
My criticism. My criticism.
I'm about to criticize.
I'm about to criticize.
My clitoris. That just sounds like a fucking racist Asian accent if I say that actually.
Well, I think that's because what you liked, I had an easier time understanding. And also what you liked was very, I don't know, it felt very just, I feel like you just said you liked the fact that I could talk about the mood. I feel like you just said that a lot. You said you're really good at the mood, but there's this other thing. I'm curious what other than the mood was good about it. So I apologize if I misunderstood you. In the sense of only hearing the criticisms or something like that.
No, I would say.
But you do say that a lot, yeah.
I'd say that you're really good at making like real characters and you're good at making world building.
Real,
You're good
true,
at punching
and
that guy in the head. I don't know how you do that so often though.
like Badu. That's nice. Big fan of Badu. #1 Badu enjoyer. Badu is supposed to be sort of a funny guy. Green survival. You're like, aha, I have sensed a plot character. It is funny sometimes with, I think especially with books with large casts, you can have characters where it's like, oh, this guy's here just for the plot. Oh yeah, you're gonna love Sunland if that's something you like a lot, because that is in Sunland quite frequently. Because it only occurred to me, like, when I was talking about it with my mom, like, maybe 3 years ago, I think maybe two, that, you can send signals with pain if you're a Tayson, and that occurred to me when she was pointing it out, and I was like, oh. But yeah, you're gonna see Waresi's sense used more actively in future books. But not from Waresi's perspective, because the books are not from Waresi's perspective.
Except for the book that's from Rosie's perspective,
Except for that one, famously.
which is actually from Gerbabo's perspective.
True.
I'm really good at pronouncing names that don't exist.
You are?
Yeah.
I would agree with you, yeah. You're really good with coming up with silly words as well.
And this is why I'm going to make my own religion.
Opened her clutch and checked her makeup through her compact. I don't know if my mom has a compact.
Yeah, I think it might be from a different decade. It's supposed to be
Specifically, my
I'm guessing it's a
mom.
compact makeup clutch thing, so that makes sense to me because I just know what that is.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna put. Is that ice in my butthole, or are you just happy to see me?
What are you saying this to me?
Should I start drinking another energy drink?
I don't think so.
Why not? Do you hate me?
Love you actually, deeply,
No,
truly,
but I
deeply,
like it.
madly.
Wait, you even have heart palpitations? It's fun.
My mom is not like a terribly feminine princess type lady, you know.
I think your mum has a lot of feminine prowess, but she's not the like masculine ideal of femininity where she's like where people are like, oh, what a pretty princess.
I would agree that my mom has a lot of feminine prowess, mainly in battle,
Yes.
where she kills other people. She does do that quite often.
Rips the dick right off the enemy.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's kind of terrifying as well. Yeah, that is one of the fun things about writing a fantasy book is that people are gonna know, people are gonna think they know a lot of things that aren't true. You kind of just gotta like sit there with a straight face and watch them like explain how they think that, you know, worms make God and stuff like that.
This is just Dune again.
Yeah. Hashtag just doing things. Whenever I start talking about myself, you're like, this is just Dune again. He talks about himself in Dune.
Yeah. Well, you never guess what he does in Dune.
He hates everybody.
Oh.
So it may seem to the wise.
Like Gandalf?
Yeah. And Galadriel.
Galadriel the Wise?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I said the
What's she
wise,
so glad
not
about?
the one guy specifically called the wise.
Oh. Who slips the wires?
Who is calling me this? Who is calling me this boy? Yeah. Though some chapters are extremely long. Let us not speak of the 12,000 word chapters. We need not remember.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. The vegetable.
That's just me.
The leaf.
I'm also a vegetable.
And a leaf.
I am not Canadian, no.
Mm. Crazy.
I might have to bite my own face off.
Yeah.
Resell she.
This build is kind of funny because this is definitely the kind of thing most people would build in creative. That can't stop me.
Okay, theoretically this will work.
Let's say hypothetical. Like how this island is so huge that if I'm standing on one side, the chunks on the other side aren't loaded.
Like a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, one main character is a fantasy creature. It's Gruff.
We don't have dogs in real life, sadly. Grizzly, no!
Disappears.
Oh, the cat. I wish we didn't have cats in real life.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Specifically Weasley.
Life could be a dream.
Yeah.
There's no rats though, that's a real problem.
In Bloodhound?
Yeah, we need more rats.
Yeah, I mean, they are there in the lair. I believe they are mentioned at least one point.
Yeah, but we need more rats.
You're like, Axel, I hear you, but we need more rats. Right now. Or I'm going
Like you're gonna pat my rats and then you'll be like, I understand everything now.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of this transformation that will take place.
Mm.
Yeah. I believe at the beginning of Bloodbound there's this one point where Ukinam used an idiom and Enakai's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Ukinam explains it and it's like, oh, I don't think there are a lot of made-up idioms in Bloodbound. To my knowledge, to my memory.
I think it's more an Einhäuben.
Probably more, I don't know. I'm curious what you'll think of Iron Weapon, KJ, because a lot of my writing tendencies do change depending on what character I'm writing from the perspective of, which I think is natural for most writers. So you might find the writing more or less, you know, likable. Oh yeah, so did I tell you the fun fact about that? I don't know if I did, but the reason there's so many similes involving animals if you're having Tayson's talk is that the Tayson language doesn't have any adjectives in it. You just have to describe things with a noun, which would be noun-derived adjectives, right? But instead of having specific adjectives meaning fast, you just have to say a fast thing, basically. And which thing is an adjective is different depending on the area they're from. So, like, in one area you might say snow is a blessing, in another area you can say snow is a curse, and you use them as adjectives. And when you're like trying to speak to Taysons from other regions, sometimes they have trouble understanding each other because their associations with different concepts are all different. Dream Vision's the chosen one. Yeah, we don't have a special sword in this one, I'm afraid. You bet your ass Devin has a special sword in his book that we haven't seen yet.
Special sword that makes you gay.
Probably not, I'm Devin.
A special sword that makes you straight.
No sword could do that. To me. I don't know about you, but it can do it to me. The sword would shatter in my hands.
Sword would shatter in my ass.
I'll be like, we'll tusk that then. Yeah, but we don't have a lot of those fantasy tropes in Bloodbound, just because they don't entertain me. I do
You
not
sniffing
find
it?
them thrilling. I'm not sniffing, I'm doing a laugh. Just a laugh.
Why aren't you sniffing?
That's a good question.
Because you have something against a sniffany?
I don't have anything against to sniffing, and I actually think she's an excellent lady of high standing.
Well, she's probably sitting right now. Go find out if you want.
Her ass is sitting on the ground. The earth.
I hope not.
Hope she's
She's
not
out of her
sitting on the
cage.
earth.
Oh, I'll be back. Time
Yeah,
to check on the rat. Rat. Rat face, never mind.
something fun I like to do is, in my mind, I'm like trying to compare the main characters of each section, right? And I'm like, which person is this guy more like in the other book? But with, especially with the difference between, especially with the difference between Ironwoven and Bloodbound, it's kind of hard to say, because I would say neither of the main characters of Ironwoven are like Horessi. Seiza is a little like Anakaya, but neither of them are like Horessi, because Horessi is distinct.
I thought you can say disgusting for some reason.
Disgusting.
Piss boy.
Everyone's calling me the Piss Wizard.
Well, it shouldn't be so wizardiski. Wizardisky.
You're always saying
Walter.
I'm a wizard.
Put your dick away, Walter.
If you insist.
Oh.
What a thrill with darkness and silence in the night.
In the
What a
wife.
thrill. Daytime. I'm still in a dream. It fit the area. Yeah. I liked Vivarno. Let's go! We got Vivarno in there. This is the way I get you, AJ. Get you with the Vivarno propaganda. I'm gonna write. If I do another like chapter of, I do another draft of Bloodbound, I'm just gonna write a second. I'm gonna write like special chapters of Vivarno just to keep you going while you're reading. Special Vivarno chapters. Tide you over.
You always say I'm teething.
Vivarno's kind of an interesting character in Bloodbound because they reminded me of Kinkajou from the Wings of Fire series, in that the character's been there for an extremely long time but never had a perspective book from her thing. Because the thing about Wings of Fire is that each different book has a different protagonist, and the perspective is exclusively from them. Is that how I got my idea? Was it Wings? I
No.
think it might have been Wings of Fire. Like, just saying it, I think it was just Wings of Fire, but if it was paired, basically. Damn.
Like the
Fucked up
fruit?
like that, yeah. Like, pears like the food. I think it's from Wings of Fire, fellas. I think we've solved the case. Except they don't do the double thing, they just do one person per book.
Pears are from Rings of Fire?
Yeah,
Oh.
the fruit.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make this kind of a...
Being the only gay person in the room is so dull.
Yeah.
I was just thinking back on the course that I did, and being the only queer there was just a pain in the ass sometimes.
Wasn't Alex?
Hmm?
Wasn't there a trans man? Did you tell me there was a trans man?
I don't know anyone named Alex.
Who's the one that read the book?
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay.
I didn't say Jesse was a trans man.
Jessica.
Jessica. I'm not sure.
Jessica from Dune.
Hmm. Jessica Atreides.
Presumably. Jessica
Atreides and Ned.
Harkonnen.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like Paul's reaction when he finds that out. He's like, "Fuck, damn."
Ew, icky.
He's like, "Why'd you do this to me, Mom?" I also like the fucking the fact that Jessica was like, "Well, my husband just wanted a son so much, I just couldn't help myself."
He's so pretty. I love him.
Yeah. Then she does have a girl, but it's just like the most fucked up girl.
Yeah.
Like, that is not how we wanted you to have a girl. What the fuck, Jessica? What the fuck?
Well, they put the spice agony on her while she was pregnant, so it's kind of like their fault.
Yeah. To be fair, she also did not tell her she was pregnant.
Well, they should be able to figure that shit out, you know?
They have the medical technology for kids.
Well, they got their fucking Pranabindu powers.
You're always saying
Well, they should have, like, the pharmacist should have asked them if they were pregnant or breastfeeding, but they didn't, so.
True. I'm imagining a Fremen pharmacist just being like, "Are you pregnant or breastfeeding?" And Jessica's like, "No." And they're like, "Okay, well."
He says that, they say that to Paul.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Yes."
Yours. Someone have asked me that question, I should say not yet.
I will be. That's the real question though, Bard. Are you pregnant with breastfeeding?
No.
Maybe a little bit of both.
The column A, the column B.
Combi the Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like Vivarno a lot, AJ. But
Just thought of something. It's like I bet people that breastfeed, they aren't even doing it for their child. They're just little freaks like that. They like the way it feels.
so whenever I'm a
It's never
pharmacist,
about-
whenever somebody asks, like whenever somebody says yeah, I'm like, oh, kind of freaky, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of freaky. You don't know little things suck on you. Okay. Keep it in the bedroom.
Can I tell you this funny thing one of my adult woman friends said one time? This is a woman I knew from the forum, from a forum I was on, and she was telling us, she was just like, she'd tell us like anything, legitimately anything that she'd done, she would tell us. And she was telling us about how after she got pregnant, she had like, or just after she gave birth, she had a party, I think. And she was like, but don't worry, nobody had any milk except for my baby. Nobody's ever had any milk for me but my baby. And I was like, why does that matter? Why does it matter so much? I don't know.
Like a sex party or
I mean, given what she's done, it is possible that she was having a sex party.
full of ninjas?
Huh?
Ninja sex party. So I said full of ninjas.
It's full of ninjas. Ninja sexual party.
That's what they've called. I know
AJ,
that.
may I ask you a question on which I'm sure you are learned? Why did you like Vivarno so much? Why was Vivarno such a hit for you?
I thought you'd be like, why are your nipples so long?
Why would
I
I
don't
say
know.
that?
It's funny. And a good question.
Good point. Good point. You know, Bard, you're
No.
true and real and valid. What's this thing? Yeah, this grass spreads pretty damn fast, don't it?
Do you think horses can be wizards too?
I mean, I know for a fact they are.
Hmm.
Like right now.
Oh.
I know
You just let
dozens
that
of horse
happen?
wizards.
Oh.
I couldn't stop them. I tried.
Oh.
Good.
I only know horse wizards are spelled Hoarse. They're very sore throats.
Yeah. I only know horse wizards who are spelled WH.
Oh.
Always call me the horror wizard.
That's what you're calling me. AJ, what do you say about the allegations?
This is what I want to know.
See, Chris wants to know too.
The dog is barking. Why does he think he's allowed? Like that.
Mm,
Yeah,
I think he thinks that ever since he got his croaking license that he can do whatever he wants.
unless they're good, in which case. I'm gonna shave this one back a little bit.
I'm gonna shake this dog back a little bit.
Oh god, he's naked.
You think it's acceptable, like socially, to shave a dog?
No.
Why not?
Probably because it's bad for them.
Well, what if the dog's like, please shave me?
Then you have a different problem because you just got a dog that learned how to speak.
Yeah.
Speak to me.
That's what the dog sounds like, yeah.
Is that what Terrence would sound like if he had a man's voice?
Yeah. Eternal smoker.
Speak to me.
Yeah.
Terrence does sound like
That's
that.
actually what he does sound like now, so.
Yeah, just as a dog. He doesn't even need the human man voice to sound like that.
Yeah.
Country girls make it too.
I've seen too many.
So true. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Why did they build them out of corn?
I don't know. I was asking
Kinda
you
corn.
this, and then your response is, haha, I love corn.
It's very conspicuous.
I like me in that way.
You're conspicuous?
Yeah, you're always describing me as conspicuous and full of evil.
That's me in the corner.
Losing my penis.
Losing to a pigeon. That's me in a cock fight. Losing to a pigeon.
You're always fighting cocks.
Hmm.
You're so anti-cock, that's your problem.
You're always so cocksure.
I am at that.
Old words are funny.
I agree.
You know, before they had cocksure, they used to call it penis shore. And then the gun was invented.
The shape of the island from the bottom is kind of funny. Kind of oblong.
Going on the bottom?
Yeah. You whore. How long have I known you, AJ?
20 minutes.
I feel like I've known you a while.
17 days.
Probably true.
Is it longer than you've known me?
I doubt that.
Exactly 1 year.
AJ,
Like today.
exactly 1 year today. Okay. And just think of how far we've come, AJ.
Who's
We've gone
coming?
from me writing my trilogy to me writing my trilogy and you writing a book about plants to you writing a book about women.
This is actually
This
is it
isn't better.
exactly in you.
I don't think it's that exactly. A happy anniversary of knowing me.
Do you have calendar autism? Can we use your powers?
Got an
That
autism
was.
for every discipline.
Did I tell you about the witch cursing Jesse?
No.
He kept opening milk and it was spoiled just because the batches we got were bad. But we were like, "Are you sure a fucking witch didn't curse you?" Yeah, and then we like later on we were talking about the witch cursed him with autism too. It's like imagine medieval knight being cursed with autism. It's like, oh god, I really like trains. I don't even know what they are.
You get cursed with
Okay.
autism and all you want to do is like weave baskets all day and all night. All you want
Yeah.
to do is weave baskets.
Is autism like a change in brain chemistry or just brain structure?
1 year and 2 days. Okay.
Oh wow,
Good thing AJ
that is
knows.
scary. What do we know about autism? It's been a while since I knew what autism was.
I don't know anything in general.
Maybe it's no difference at all, and it's just perceived.
Maybe I got my butthole out.
Do you?
We'll find out.
Oh. When I start hearing you fart.
Reverberating through the room.
Yeah. Like the One Ring.
Yeah. Like the movie.
Yeah. Like the movie. Imagine if you didn't know that Lord of the Rings was also a movie.
I would be fucking thrilled to find out it was a book.
What if roses smell like sausages? Or vice versa.
You know the one part in Stormlight where Lip says that? Where she says that plants should taste like sausage and
That's
vice versa
right. Wait, in what?
in Stormlight.
Oh yeah. The lift saying that.
Yeah,
This is why we shouldn't let a near fucking genie.
yeah. We're gonna end up with very weird situations. I like the part of it where Lift gets like turned into Navani, and she's like, I feel like I have two water balloons tied to my chest.
Massive honkers.
Yeah.
Massive titty burbitties. To say titty burbitty is really hard to say, apparently.
Evidently.
Unless you're the titty burbitty himself, I guess.
True. Could be hard for him too, though.
Could be.
Never assume another man's experience.
There is experiencing my experience by experiencing it.
True.
Do you
Yet I
think you could
still
burp so
know
loud that I
something.
heard?
You're assuming I'm not doing that right now.
Well, I don't hear anything.
Well, never assume another man's experience.
My ear just went fucking. You know when you like go tone deaf? Your ear like starts ringing.
You start talking about racism
No.
at
No.
a situationally inappropriate time.
Is there ever a situationally appropriate time to start talking about racism?
Well, if you're in like a social studies class,
Like that?
yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly like that, actually. I'm shocked that you knew.
How come a lot of animals can't burp?
What?
Why do a lot of animals don't burp?
Probably because their digestive tracts are oriented differently than ours.
Losers.
Like maybe they just don't get gas coming out of their
No, they usually explode.
oh, I'll do it, yeah.
You ever fed dry rice to a bird?
No. How often do you feed dry rice to birds, Bard?
I never do, but I just know what happens.
You're like, I never do. He says, putting away the bag of dry rice.
Oh, I'm fingering myself in the ear hole. Scratch. And neural tubes. Ugh. Should we, if we figured out something that does cause autism, do you think people would like give themselves autism to like be better at trains?
I think they would give themselves autism to be better at trains.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not interested in trains, so I probably wouldn't, but I would be tempted.
Mm.
You know, if I developed an interest in trains.
I'm putting the final touches on the roof.
I'm gonna stop by. Oh wow, this is so cool. It's
Looks
beautiful.
like share.
It's beautiful. It's really cool.
You're really cool.
You know what's really cool, Bard?
Break my legs. No, no, I'm alive.
You.
You're
This
really
is so
cool. AJ, right in the building.
Yeah, AJ, what's your opinions on this building? Out of 10. 22? God damn.
it's a
Out
bit
of 10, a
high.
22 is huge.
I think it's 22 out of 100.
Can't believe you would say that, AJ. That's pretty fucked up.
Or it's like 22 out of
30?
like 35 maybe.
Okay. Better than average, though.
Just barely.
I find it kind of interesting and funny that I'm more critical than most people because that's not intentional on my part at all.
You're not critical of my building.
No. I was just thinking, because I was remembering a conversation I had with AJ.
Is that the one where AJ called you the slur?
Yeah, only one though.
Hmm.
There are multiple buildings. That's true.
We said
So
I can
each
say it. I have
building
like
gets an out of 10 score, and that's the average. Sorry, that's the total out of 10. So that means it's 30, so that's 22 out of 30. That's pretty good. That's it. Oh, Black Betty, bam, bam, oh, Black Betty, bam, bam. Girl boss. Gatekeep, gaslight,
Gape.
gatekeep.
Go up keeping the gape.
I know. Whoop, gaping. Yeah.
Just the grunge.
Who's telling me this? When in Rome, put your feet on cobblestones, feel the streams bones. It's really funny to me that, although you despise the unicycle man, I can't stop talking about. You do like the same music as him.
Just happened to be on my Spotify, and I do not despise the unicycle man.
You're always like that for hurts like unicycle man. You should stop.
I might start.
You're like, what? Now that you mention it. I love you, bud.
I love you too. Unicycle man.
You're always calling me unicycle man.
Just because you keep calling me the Piscrian.
That's a screen. That's a pretty good thing to call someone, you're right. I do find it funny. You said that like RT game has a certain kind of humor that's like British humor that you just don't like.
No, not particularly. I mean, it does have like that self-deprecating humor that's kind of like. What is the term?
Yeah.
There's like a thing that's like in theater when they're like pointing out how weird the things.
Ooh. What time is it? It's only 8.
It's not observational.
See, I think RT game is hilarious. I love RT
It's
game.
like
And I would not
self-referential.
say he has. I would not say he has British humor. But Bard
There's a
said he
thing
has
in
British humor.
theater where you like point out how obscene like the plot is, so that it like is telling the audience to like suspend their
Suspended
disbelief.
disbelief. Let's go.
Yeah, but like it's a term. It's like polishing the oyster or something.
He is the straight man in the comedy group. How much RT game do you personally watch, AJ? I'm curious. Because you do seem to know about RT game, more so than many. And I was shocked that you knew about him at all, because I don't know if I've ever met anybody else who knew about him. Though I don't tend to go around asking people if they know about RT game. Oh, you are aware of all things, right? You probably, I don't know if you would enjoy watching his stuff. I mean, you're aware of it, so you probably have like watched a thing and been like, eh. But I watch all his videos just because he is humorous. Much like the bone in my arm. I'm waiting for applause. You know, the most important thing in life is that you think you're funny, even if nobody else thinks you're funny.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I find him humorous, just like the bone in my arm, and then I burst out laughing.
Damn it. You're always doing this.
I'm always doing this. Full of laughter and eels. And the laughter stealing eels, which are kind of fucked up. Something I think is kind of interesting about you, AJ, and this might just be an impression I get and not something that is true, but it seems like the degree to which your preference is for like Japanese or Japanese style entertainment is like very strong. Like stronger than I would expect. I do like watching educational YouTube. I I do tend to watch people play games quite often because I can't actually play all the games I want to play because I don't have time. So if I want to play a game but I can't, sometimes I'll just watch somebody, watch somebody else play it. Like, I've seen probably dozens of hours of people playing Stardew Valley, and the entire time I'm just thinking, man, I wish I could play Stardew Valley. This is what it is to live in a prison of your own mind. You're definitely not watching the stream for the gameplay.
Okay, so in a story, someone will be like saying something, and then they point out inside their own story how strange something sounds.
Yeah.
So it's like there'll be so many things where I don't know. It's called something particular, but I can't remember what it is. But it's like a literary technique where it's like pointing out that the you have to get the time travel machine in your like medieval fantasy, and then someone's like time travel machine,
Yeah.
It's like you're telling the audience to laugh at you or to like be on the joke with you, and that's the kind of humor that RT Game has, where he's like, the joke is that he's making the joke and like not doing a good job of it.
I believe you just said you don't think RT Game funny.
I didn't say I don't think him funny.
Oh,
Is that even anything? Is that a skeleton?
Blow up.
It's a skeleton.
That is an interesting thought. Like how there's a burning arrow next to a skeleton.
Yeah. I was trying to make sure it wasn't you that was shooting at first.
Yeah. Country girls make do.
You're sitting on that arrow for real.
Yeah. Japanese media also, to me, and this might just be my bias not knowing like a lot of different cultures' media, but it's also the one where pedophilia is the most normal, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah, that one's a bit strange.
Yeah. See, that's why one of the major themes of Waresi's story is not knowing what the fuck is going on.
What the fuck is going on?
It's kind of funny having Waresi as a main character, because Waresi both doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and honestly does not care. Which is why it's probably frustrating to read from Waresi's perspective, because, like, Dusk says, oh, I did this bad thing, do you want to know why? And Waresi's like, no, it's alright. Fine with that. I don't need to know.
Do you think Japan's a real country?
Probably not.
Hmm.
And it might be the case that pedophilia is also common in, like, other media, and I'm just not aware of it. I just don't know.
I mean, it kind of is, kind of isn't. Like, a lot of cartoons these days have weird fetishes injected into them, which is very strange.
Yeah, well, I think it's just because, but here's my, like, immediate first thought on that, which might not be true. My first thought is that I don't think cartoons in the past were as much made for children. So when there's, like, weird, like, little fetishy stuff in them, it doesn't feel wrong because it's not necessarily a cartoon for children. It might just be a cartoon that children are watching.
No, I think what tends to be, like, cartoons back in the day definitely were made for children. But the thing is, they had a higher expectation of what a child should be watching. So they were made for, like, a certain age of children, compared to things nowadays where they know that, like, a 3-year-old can pick up an iPad and will just, like, watch anything that's got moving colors. But
Yeah.
it definitely is, like, a different change. And you've got things like, there are a lot of dodgy people that work in children's media, like Nickelodeon had the fucking Zack Schneider, or the fuck the guy's name was, Rob Schneider? That's the wrong Schneider. It's one of them. Dan Schneider? It might be Dan Schneider. That's the foot guy. But either way, so there was a lot of stuff like that around that time,
Yeah.
which is very weird. But like the same kind of stuff that is in Japanese anime is very strangely different.
Okay. So is that something you commonly see in, like, Asian media, or?
I don't think it's particularly common. It's just there's
Okay.
more of it than you would see in Western media.
Well, I'm talking about the thing AJ said.
Yeah, no. So I'm answering that answer.
Okay. Is that something that's also true, like, in the West, but in different ways? Because it might be, and I'm just not, like, thinking of it in the right way or something like that, you know? Call me a homophone card.
Homophobia. Homonym.
I know I'm asking a lot of questions, AJ, and I apologize if it's just like you're trying to chill out. I'm just curious. And you do seem to know many things.
Maybe he likes your mini questions.
It's
I
possible.
feel like he would, otherwise he wouldn't be here. If he was tired of your shit, he would have left.
True. Andrew's always saying that he's sick and tired.
Social media also has a different depiction of grossness, because there will be like a lot of shows and things where they make a child sexy for like no reason. It happens a lot in like live action stuff, particularly.
Yeah, I do always find it weird when in live action stuff they have children dress, you know, like they have them dress, and I'm like, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? I'm calling the police.
Yeah. Particularly, and this is something that is true both in media and in real life, I find it weird that, like, little girls, like very small girls, they get dressed in shorter shorts than little boys do. I don't know why they do that.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I would say I would lower that as well, AJ, from like 16 to 20.
Yeah.
Because there is quite a lot of movies and things where they're just like, oh look, she's 16 now, she can make her own decisions, and it's just like they should fire whoever wrote this and send them to jail.
Yeah.
The worst part about making these kinds of jokes is that this the person is there's a higher percentage, like statistically, they're probably a pedo.
Hmm.
Someone working in Hollywood, statistically, you're more likely to be correct than you are to be incorrect.
Hmm.
It's like a Minecraft YouTuber.
Yeah. I used to watch you when I was a kid. How young?
No, I was used to judge you when I was young. How young? My favorite one of those is because my disgraced Minecraft YouTuber is also a Halloween costume in the Halloween
Yeah.
episode.
They're always calling me out on the phone.
Why you got homophones in the brain?
You're always calling me out on the phone.
Yes, you always call me on my homophone. Remember when that
You
fucking
used to call
terrible
me on
song
my
was actually like
homophone.
popular? Don't
You
understand.
used to call me on my homophone.
Yeah, fucking. I think a lot of people were playing it because it sounds fucking terrible because of Drake songs, like right? But
Wait, is it a
then
Drake song?
because yeah,
Oh,
and then it became popular because people were playing it. Yeah,
uh, that is possible. I don't know the deep lore.
that's how usually it goes. Man.
I find it funny that if there's ever media about gay guys, it's always like these, like TV media especially. They always have older gay guys, which I just think is great.
It's because they want to separate the fact that children can be gay from adults. It's just how it is.
Because they're fucked up, twisted.
Like it's Heartstopper was one of like the first ever TV shows that has like positivity with the gays in it, and it has like teenagers and they're not like sexualized.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. And the reason I keep saying homophone is that you called Terrence a homophone or something like that, I think.
Probably. So Japanese culture has more of a liberal standing on that kind of content as well. I remember being on the bullet train next to a businessman that was just reading fucking hentai like right there from his magazine. He didn't give a fuck. It was like, man, you can go.
His ass did not give a shit.
I'm on the Shinkansen with Grandpa, and he's fucking getting off.
Grandpa's fucking jacking off on the Shinkansen. Oh, that's great. I don't give a fucking give a shit about fuck.
Fucking bag full of bees. I just made 16 fucking mangrove fence gates instead of fences. I fucking hate my life.
You hate me?
No.
That
But
guy
you're not
was funny.
15. You're not 16 fence gates though.
It's true. See, AJ, I only ever hear about the high school girl thing. That's probably just because I'm only hearing about, like, the ones people are actually talking about. Like, I don't doubt a lot of these are airing, and that a lot of them aren't popular in America because they're not about teenage girls. But I only ever hear about the ones that are about sexualizing.
Fucking kill a baby! I did it again.
You're always threatening to kill our children, Bart, whenever you fuck something up.
There is no God because I killed him. Okay. That is a fence gate. We don't make that one.
Yeah, and it might be that also, like, when I think about, like, sexualization in Japanese media, they all look like children to me just because of the way anime makes people look. So I'm just like, why do they all look like babies? Why are they all, like,
I do
sexualized
love
little
that
babies?
they'll be like, I'm a 50-year-old woman, and it looks like a teenager.
Yeah,
And they'll be
it's
like, I'm a
literally the
16-year-old
exact
boy, and it's
same
JoJo.
definition of it. Yeah. I'm a 16-year-old boy, he says, roughly the size of a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am aware that cleavage is less, is more risque. Like, I know that for the kimono, or whichever it is, it's if you have it go low around the back of your neck, that's like a sexy kimono, not one that has your titties out. So you don't put your titties out for any purpose. Hmm.
Yeah, the back of the neck's kind of a sexy thing. Well, it was for a while. I'm not sure if it is anymore.
Yeah. It probably is for history nerds in Japan.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They get the big history boner.
I know I am. What's kind of funny is that I have a close friend who's half Japanese, and she'll like tell me about it sometimes. She'll be like, "Oh, you would love this part of Japan, and they would love you too." It's like it just keeps
Harry?
sounding like she's gonna like ship me off to Japan anytime. Like she was telling me about this northern part of Japan where they just have these like communal houses and everybody just like gets together and hangs out in them, and I was like, man, that would be really fun. She's like, yeah, they'd love you too. They just talk and talk. Yeah, I would like to visit Japan someday. You know, I'd like to visit Japan, Mongolia, all these places. I know classifying Japan with Mongolia is weird, but those are some of the places I think would be cool to visit. I could go to many places. You could not stop me. I would just keep going. Let's all go to Japan together. This is what I'm saying, Brittany. It's gonna be you, me, and Bard. Yeah, and Bard's been to Japan already, so.
Yeah. So no lad back.
You're like, believe me, after what I did last time. You're like, let's just say the Shinkansen with the man reading hentai will never be the same.
Yeah, that means I'll never be the same. He's enjoying that hentai in heaven now.
I think, do you suppose that's what heaven is? It's just getting to enjoy it. Hentai on the
For that guy,
Shinkansen.
must be.
That's that guy's personal heaven, is reading hentai. Oh, we have fun on this stream. I would love to just go to Japan and see all their mountains. I would be a big fan. I really like a Japanese historical fantasy like Princess Mononoke because just the landscapes and the way they did farming in Japan is so interesting to me. And the way the landscapes are different than like mountainous or plains landscapes in Europe or America. There should be more Native American fantasy though. That I would read all day, baby. There's probably Native American fantasy I'm not aware of as well. Probably a couple of authors holding the line. And I think historical fantasy is more fun in film form, but it's probably not strictly true. Like, personally, I'm having a hard time imagining a historical fantasy I would enjoy more than Princess Mononoke, just because Princess Mononoke is so fun. And, like, specifically to my tastes, you know. I would say the same is true as Nausicaa, and Nausicaa's not even a historical fantasy. Nausicaa feels like it was made for me. Oh, good lord. Okay, that is a wild name for a burger.
That's not even the wildest burger they have. When I was there, they had the Attack on Titan special thing going on.
And
And there was a
the
Colossal
Fascism
Titan
burger.
burger. Man, this was like the first season. They had the Fascism burger normally.
That's just the normal burger at McDonald's, Japan. I'm really curious what the state of Japan politically right now is. Like,
Last time I checked, it was
when-
a bit conservative, but they're still pushing for more social views.
When is gay marriage going to be legal in Japan? Right now it's legal. I think they made it legal in Thailand
Korea?
really recently.
No, Taiwan, or yeah.
I think it was Thailand. It was one of those ones around that area. It was interesting because, like, the instant they made it legal, they had this, like, big, like, chamber type thing with a bunch of representatives, and by representatives, I just mean gay couples. And then they, like, all got married. There's just lines and lines of people lining up to get gay married. To get their papers, you know. Which is pretty fun. Oh, wow. And the entire time they've just been, I hate gay people. I'm gonna be real with you. What was the guy who got shot in the head?
Shinzo Abe.
I'm gonna be real with you, Shinzo Abe. Ain't nothing getting that birth rate back up. See, this is the fun thing about American politics, is that every 4 years you can fear for your life.
Yay.
This is why American politics are obviously the best kind. It's cat circle.
And political opposition.
Political opposition. I mustn't forget the political opposition.
What about the political supposition?
Well, you have to ask. Yes, no problem. The static from my clothes just shocked Louise right away.
Get fucked, kitty cat.
It was shocking.
Damn, we've been screaming for 3 hours.
You're telling me. It's funny how, like, something that's, like, really kind of easy and mindless, like building that island is, can just, like, take so long. He's twerking! Fuck, he's twerking. AJ, do you know what Animal Jam is? Can we get the Animal Jam?
See, I thought it was what I make when I put a bunch of hamsters in with some sugar in a pot, but apparently that's not correct.
Bless. Because I feel like AJ knows enough to know what Animal Jam is. But you never know. He's probably gonna say that Brittany's played it. He's probably gonna say that we've already talked about it.
Oh, fucker. I didn't have my hand on the keyboard.
It's not a tower defense game, no.
What tower defense game would that be? Besides,
I
like,
have no
balloons.
clue.
Maybe we're talking about Sanctum, the popular video game Sanctum,
I
and
have
Sanctum
never
2
played a tower
sequel.
defense game in my life.
You should play Sanctum with me, I think you'd like it.
Because here's the thing, AJ, there are layers to me that you have not yet uncovered. Oh, okay, the National Geographic Online MMORPG. I guess online is already an MMORPG. You understand that. For children, for babies. It's like if you took an MMORPG and yeah, see, I played it when I was a baby, in my defense. I think I stopped playing it probably at the oldest when I was 11, but I played a lot of it when I was younger. And one time, I just think it's funny because this one time, me and Bard were in a tent after we'd like done a day of like walking around or whatever, on the North Shore. And I just like sat there and told him about Animal Jam for what must have been like 30 whole minutes.
We're like 30 whole hours.
Yeah, Bard was dying by the end of
You
it.
see, you don't. I wasn't dying.
He
You
was
see, you
begging
don't play
for
baby
death.
games, but you play all the Final Fantasies.
That is true. What do you say about that, Andrew? See, AJ, I'm not expecting you to have played Animal Jam because it was mostly played by girls, I think. Because I think it does seem to me that on average, girls tend to be less into games where you shoot people. Which isn't to say girls don't also love those games, because they obviously do. But especially, like, young girls. Well, I'm saying you would have done this when you were a child, and presumably when you were a child, your parents, if you were playing a girly game, your parents would be like, get off that, whatever.
Obama.
But I don't know if your parents were even paying attention to what games you were playing, so. I think it might just be that. That's a good point, AJ. I think it might just be that, like, parents don't, like, care if they see their boys playing games where you shoot people. But if you see a girl play that game, they're like, good lord, you're gonna blow up.
No, people do care if their boys play shooting games. I know it was my friend I knew as a child was not allowed to play those games.
Yeah. But I think they care more if they have a girl do it.
Oh, to be fair, I think he's a trans woman now, so really.
That's what I'm saying.
Or closeted, for sure. I remember I was on the bus with him once and he said, you ever think about what it's like to be a girl? I'm like, no, what? What do you mean? And he got really embarrassed and never talked
And
about
then
it
he was
again.
like, haha. Anyway. I think we're gonna switch the stream to be drawing.
Oh,
Getting my Androsi out. Is that a cat? Good lord! Hi, Weasley. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the something happening screen until I pull up the document. Something funny is that something funny about me, sorry, I spoke too quickly there and didn't make any fucking sense. Something funny about me is that I call every sort of thing a document, whether or not it's a document. If it has document vibes to me, I call it a document. I'm gonna put this over here. Maybe I do this. Maybe, oh, I know how I did this. Okay. I know how I did this. I used to stream art a lot, like, perhaps an unreasonable amount. And then everybody told me that my art sucks and they're gonna kill me, and I was like, oh.
What?
Okay, that's not the right thing. And this is kind of a boring artwork, I'm afraid. AJ's gonna see it, and AJ's gonna be like, that's the most Axel artwork I've ever seen in my life. But it's not, it was designed to be finished quickly, so it's intentionally not super interesting. Because I want to just be able to do it fairly fast. Oops. Drawing normal. Screen capture. Screen 2. Done. It's not showing up. Oh shit, it's not right. Photoshop. Capture window, capture, there we go. Yeah, okay, what's gonna be the fun fact of the day? See, this is what I would do every time this is my idea for getting people interested in my writing, was just including a fun fact with all of the things. Here's a fun fact of the day for you, AJ, because you probably haven't seen that fun fact before. Okay, so we're gonna have this fun fact be about... What was something we were talking about recently? Fun fact of the day, Vivarno. Okay, let's do a Vivarno fun fact. The Taysons on the... It's too long of a word. Southernmost edge of Laves. That'll fit. Rather north will fit there. This is my genius plan for getting people to be interested in my writing. Can tell how well it worked. Kind of funny, because I fucking slaved away at streaming. You know, not to the extent that a lot of streamers do, but I did a lot of streaming. And nobody ever watched. That is one of the unfortunate things about streaming, though, is that it's just kind of like good luck, you know, being extremely entertaining, which I am not. I think I am funny to some extent, but I don't know if I'm extremely entertaining.
You entertain me.
Yeah.
And you are definitely funny.
If I didn't, we would have a serious issue.
I have appendicitis.
Oh, nice open girl dinner, AJ. I just saw that. I am baffled by the circle on top of the girl dinner.
It's salami.
Oh, salami. Okay.
Salami.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I could do that. And also, like, I like to stream, you know, my Circle Atop the Girl Dinner, the new manga. This is gonna be a hit manga. Um, See, I like to stream my like games catalog, if you understand. What I've found actually is that the two things people will show up for in terms of streams are Dark Souls 3 and Hollow Knight. They do not show up for Elden Ring. They show up for Dark Souls 3. I don't know why.
Sometimes Minecraft.
Occasionally Minecraft. Occasionally somebody will show up and talk in Minecraft and then never show up to the stream again. And be like, you guys are so cool, you guys are really funny, and then they never show up again. I assume it's just because they like want company for a little while. And then, you know, they get sick of it.
There could be children.
It could be children too, yeah. I tend to assume that no one is a child. It's because children aren't real. Oh no. The Circle Atop the Girl Dinner, the famous name of AJ's upcoming cookbook.
Yeah. I'll be back.
I have a good sense of depth. I would say the sense of depth on this one is pretty good, just because the values are definitely more separated. Obviously this needs a lot of work, but it's a very basic concept. You know, I could paint a mountain like this in my sleep. Like, this is not challenging for me. I could do this any time of the day. But like the previous one, that was a challenge. That one is probably gonna look worse than this one, even though it took me fucking 2 months. Which is an unseasonable amount of time for a drawing to take. Probably the longest any drawing's ever taken me, which is funny because I don't think it's my best one. In terms of my best painting, I think it might be last year's Scruff spring painting. I've made a couple of good ones. Yeah, well, AJ, you haven't put enough effort in to get the best painting out yet. I think by the time I've written enough books, I'll be able to say which one I think is my best one, which is going to be fun. The time, right now, though, I haven't written enough. I would say, just because I really like Waresi's perspective, I probably like Bloodbound the most. Maybe it might just be because I've written it twice as well, so the characters are better developed. Like, you're probably going to notice when you read Hermoven and Sunlit, because those are both first drafts, they're going to be kind of, you're going to be like, why are the characters behaving this way? They're kind of weird little men, and I'm going to be like, yeah, they're like that because I didn't have them figured out until later in the story. And I only have some revelations about revelations. I only have some revelations about characters after I finished writing, so that's also a challenge. It's funny painting this kind of thing, because I'm usually painting these scenes of, like, you know, green, that kind of stuff. Every day from God. Yeah. Be for real, on God, no cap. I'm usually painting scenes where I think they're pretty, but they're not very snowy. Whereas my favorite weather, the thing that I'm always like, man, I really wish I could be seeing this, is snowy weather. Like, I was realizing earlier that I don't mind the heat so much as I mind the lack of snow. You know, like, this winter was so miserable for everybody, including me, just because it was really cold and it snowed like 5 times total. And it's gonna snow again on Wednesday and immediately melt because it's gonna be above freezing the next day. And like having an entire winter where it snows like 5 times is bullshit. It just makes you feel like you've wasted an entire season because the whole point of the season is like not even there. Sucks. So this kind of thing, it can get pretty damn hot on glaciers relative to what you think it would be. And this kind of thing is just, I wish I could like climb around on one of these. I know glaciers are dangerous to climb around on. I just think they're cool. Something I think is fun, AJ, is that I can ask you a lot of questions about things, but I also have knowledge. It's just not knowledge that I think you're interested in knowing. Because I have like a lot of random fun facts about like evolutionary biology and shit. That is true. My mouth will open and I will start saying some shit. Love. Love mountains. Everything you could possibly want to know from me is going to come from my mouth at some point. I need no prompting. I just start talking. Wild creature in that way. There we go. That makes it feel a little better. What I think is kind of funny about painting and drawing and stuff. I call every kind of art drawing, by the way. I think you've realized this. Bard realized this a while ago. It's kind of funny when he was like, "You call every kind of art drawing," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do that." I think it's something I point out about myself as well. But something kind of funny about it is that it never occurs to me, at the level of drawing I do, that it would be difficult or hard for someone to conceive of how I'm doing it because it's so natural for me. So like my mom watches me draw and she's like, "You're literally cracked. You're out of control. How do you draw?" And I'm just doing this thing which for me I need to put zero brain power into. I'm just go like, and I make a drawing. She's like, "How do you do that? It looks so good." And you just like did some lines, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know either." I just do this essentially subconsciously. This is the kind of thing I could do in my sleep. It's just texturing snow. Texturing snow. I did this one really good job of texturing snow like a couple of years ago. It was in 2022. It was in 2022. So I did this drawing in almost one day. It was in 2 days. But this is a drawing of grizzly, obviously, in a aspen environment. But the texturing on this snow is like some of the best I think I've ever done. I'm doing it with the same brush right now, by the way. Look at this dog. This guy. Who does this guy think he is? The texturing right here, the way this edge is formed is like, oh, so good. I love it. This painting was actually all done on like one layer as well, which is impressive. I'm just chasing that high. That's the first time I ever used this brush, I believe, as well. Well, not the first time, but I did that brush for the entire painting. I usually use like 3-ish brushes per painting because I have this. I also tend to use the soft round pressure opacity, whatever the name of this one is. I tend to use that as well, but I use just the 3 most. Maybe when I try to whistle and I can't do it. I got my whistling organ taken from me. My whistling organ was taken by the whistling man. I would love it when Photoshop does this. You just gotta create those. You just gotta create those curves. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons that the trilogy starts with Waresi is, I think, assuming the reader reads in order and reads all three of them, I think if you had it start with another character, the sense might be substantially more confusing than it currently is, just because you never get to experience it with a character until, like, if I had Waresi as the main character of the third book, for instance. But Waresi really only makes sense as the main character of the first book, just for plot reasons as well. Well, actually, I think you could switch the plots of book one and book two with some, like, a dilly-dallying and make them still work. I think you could do that. I'm not going to, but you could. But yeah, the reason the main characters of Bloodbound are like they are is to introduce the major elements of the trilogy. See, AJ, I think it's way funnier to think Waresi is normal and then have other characters watch Waresi behave like a weirdo. You know, like have Waresi, like some of the things Waresi does. Disappear without speaking to anyone. Wander around in fields without mentioning that to anyone. And just like they just not talk for hours without realizing they're not talking and other people are talking. And see, I think that's great. I like it a lot. And I think it's interesting to start with the perspective of the person who is doing these things to begin with. Though it is notable that in the first draft of Bloodbound, there were some scenes where Anakai was observing Waresi doing things, because the plot was a lot slower because there were a lot more chapters. But we don't actually have enough chapters for that in... Well, actually, that's kind of funny, because there weren't a lot more chapters. It was just that each chapter was longer on average, and there were only 4 extra chapters, I think. But each chapter had a lot more shit happen, let's say. And like there was chapters where after Waresi comes back to the lair, Anakaya is just like watching them spar with other soldiers. It's like one chapter of that. So you do get to see Waresi from outside eyes, but at the time I wasn't writing Waresi in a very like autistic way. Writing Waresi autistically. Something kind of interesting to me is that from the way autistic people described themselves on the internet, I thought that being autistic meant that you just didn't like having sex, basically. But it might just be like the bias of like asexual autistic people that I happen to be like seeing on the internet or something. It's kind of interesting. My ass can sit and texture like a fucking thing of snow for years. just realized all I've done this entire time is texture snow. I'll go to mountains. I love the mountains. I love. Turn to me, turn to me. Look to the sun, gather your crown, baby, turn to me. Turn to me. Turn to me, turn to me. Waiting for AJ thoughts on the matter. Pending AJ thoughts on the matter at hand. I think this thing I'm doing here might work a little better over here. Yeah. What I was observing is that I think in the language people would use to talk about, you know, feeling certain ways about touch, it would often be like, it just, to me, from my perspective, when I was younger, it sounded like they just didn't like sex at all. Because they would speak about being bothered by touch and stuff like that, but I mean, I suppose it's just different for different people. It might just be the case that I was like, it just happened to be consuming a range of content from people who were like in the minority or something like that. Or maybe just the people who are more likely to make comics about themselves on Twitter because they feel more isolated. That's pretty good. Ranking my own whistles on stream. Whistling is one of those skills that I really like for some reason. I think it's because my dad could do it, so I want to be able to do it better. Not better. I don't think I could ever do it better than him, but I just want to be able to do it. Whistling strikes me as a masculine activity. Whistles masculinely. It feels a bit too even when I do it like that. See, this is the problem I had when I was streaming before I knew Bard, because like when I was doing art, I'd just have to like play a video on the side and then I just like sit here and draw without talking for hours because there's nobody in chat to talk to. So I'd just be like, look to the side, gather your pride, and baby, turn to me, turn to me, turn to me, turn to me. I'm coming at you like a dog. Oh, this kind of reminds me of something. This is the same composition as my famous this painting. Give it a second to open. This is so wide, good lord. Wow. Wide ass painting. Same thing. Even got the same mountain dealio. Oh, I love how this looks. I fucking did not like this when I finished it, but I like it a lot now. It's so, like, the scope feels huge in this painting, which I appreciate. It's just like, it feels so big. You know? This mountain I did not manage to do very well. You are very tall, AJ, famously.
I
Taller
return.
than one would think. Hello, Barb.
That's not a winter painting.
This is not a winter painting. I was just pointing out that this has the same composition as this.
Mm.
I'm gonna... You're much like Vivarno in that you are large. And large.
And out there.
And out there. And round. Just gonna fade these out a little bit. There we go. Why is it so round? Help. Here's the thing, Bart. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. And all you other brothers can't deny
Alas.
that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist, that round thing in your face, you get strung, you want to pull out a gun.
Oh lord.
Um, Something I think is funny about me is my preferences for like just how I like things looking, you know, I don't like things terribly dramatic. I like things to be peaceful more so than anything. Constantly drawing fucking peaceful scenes. Me at my most violent is still drawing a peaceful scene. I never draw people fighting. I never even draw people in conflict a lot of the time, you know. Fucking hipster. I'm a hippie.
Mm.
Full of peace, love, etc.
Hippie.
No fucking HIPAA violation.
No. Don't do that.
I know. I'm not going to.
Hippocratic oath.
Violating my Hippocratic oath on God. See, they said that violating your Hippocratic Oath wasn't good, and to that I can only say, but why is it so fun then?
Why is it the word hippo in it?
Yeah. It's not right. Basically correct. Some things are kind of hard for me to tell about the painting until I've like turned on the filters, because the filters make it more clear when I fucked something up.
Like my wife.
Your wife is fucked up. What happened to her?
Car crash.
Uh, Violating the Hippocratic Oath. Something I think is kind of funny about my drawings is that I tend to not have clouds in them.
It's because clouds aren't real, they're invented by the government, so there's no government right now,
True.
that's why there's no clouds.
True, true, true. That's the thing they don't want you to know. At any rate, I think I'm grandpa right now, so I'm gonna go bed. 1 second. I'm gonna do the vignettes. Sometimes when I don't have that much time for drawing, I just like do like add something like a filter just to make me feel like I've done drawing.
We still have more time to draw.
Yeah, but I'm Taiwan.
Taiwanese government.
I'm the Taiwanese government, yeah. How did you know?
No, Jesus told me.
He is fucking narc. Okay, that is focused. Look at that. Perfect.
Doigi.
That's the thing you gotta know about a Taiwanese government, about a vignette, is that it makes everything feel very focused.
Vignette.
Yeah. A vignette. Huh? Oh. I didn't change the year. It's so stupid. So dumb. Fuck. There we go. I hope you have a good sleep too, AJ. And if you don't, I'll be pissed.
My God.
Good night. Goodbye. Tell AJ to, sorry, tell yourself, and also tell Brittany that you both have to sleep well, or I'll be mad. I'll be
So
chomping at the
fucking right.
bit. Okay, have a good one. Good night.